All right, we're at the home of Mr. Reeves. Um, Basically looking at doing some siding for him. So we're focusing on all the side walls. We are not doing anything with soffit, drip edge, or fascia. He's going to address that either himself or have some folks local here do this ancillary painting. But really what he needs done is just addressing the sidewalls. We're doing a very conservative tear off. We're looking at some of the plans. It looks like this is fir, that the house was built with some reclaimed fir. Really good wood in 90% of the case here on the home. The areas that aren't of good integrity, now there is some paint bubbling, so we don't want to confuse that with actual rot, but where there is a few places of rot, we're going to tear that out, resheathe the wall, and then do all our Tyvek seam tape, all the flashing that's necessary, and then use a 8¼ cedar mill select board. So it is a very conservative tear off. I think we spec'd it as just about 8 squares of tear off, and all the rest will be an overlay. And we should be able to accomplish that, with no problem whatsoever. All exterior corners, windows, all that. The garage door frame will be wrapped in Hardie. The corners trim, window trim, that will all be replaced with true Hardie 1x4. So that's what we got. It's gonna be a great little project. He has 2 dogs that he'll figure out where that he's going to keep those. So the big thing we can do for him is just communicate with him in terms of our expectations, and do everything we need to do to meet those expectations. Those are really the simplest and the best expectation we can deliver on this project for Mr. Reeves. So we'll kind of walk around, check everything out here. Shutters, there's 2 pair of shutter. Excuse me, 2 pair of shutter that we will take off and leave off. One thing, as I'm sitting here looking, we talked about shutters and storm doors. I just noticed that they're a hung screen, so I'll ask him about that, what he wants to do as far as these screens, and if we're rehanging them or just leaving them off like the shutters and the storm doors. There are 2 storm doors. We are going to take those off and leave them off the home. And basically he can refurb them or get new ones if he wants. Everything else, on the gables here, that does protrude out a little bit, kind of like some gingerbread stuff, so we can get rid of that, and then do our flush face Hardie all the way up. It would be nice if we could kind of create some sort of separation just for a little character up there. Maybe do like it just lipped out a little bit, just to create some sort of difference up in that gable end up there. This little metal wrought iron on the front porch, he's getting rid of that. Gonna do something else there for support, so we don't need to worry about making that look pretty. Carriage lights we will rehang. Coming along the side, again, pretty straightforward. Got a lot of paint mishaps, but that's hard wood under there, under that paint. Again, I'll need to get some information on these hung screens and figure out what the expectation is there. Here's where we start to see some of the rot. Again, this is all paint. We got hard wood back there, but down here we have some rot, so we'll have to address that. Again, we have some rot here, and really the only reason this place rotted is because, if you notice, every one of these is a seam problem. So where that seam just got exposed, everywhere else, this stuff is golden, and this was built in the 50s. We did talk about lead and what we'll need to do there. But again, these are the only areas on this side so far that will need to be torn off. Everywhere else is just a great candidate for overlay and take advantage of some of that good quality wood that's on the home. Back here again, to the corner. Now here's where we get a little modified with our scope of work. This breezeway, because it's under and it's protected, we're leaving that alone. Porch ceiling, we're leaving that alone. We're not doing anything with that area. We're looking to really do this as cost effectively as possible, but still give him the look he wants. So that's kind of one of the things, the modifications we came up with. So we will leave this breezeway alone entirely. Now, this facing, Okay, so all this forward-facing area, including all the trim, the garage door wrap, all that area, including up over to here, will be the Hardie plank. Okay, so all trim, all siding, that little solar light right there, that will be rehung, and we can just do that with some double stick tape apparently. I think it looks like it has a screw in it, but however he wants to reinstall that, we'll do that for Joe. Got some rot down here, so obviously we need to dress that accordingly, and then all that will be flashed. So we talked about the C-channel flash to make sure that we don't have water running up the wall. That will all be flashed accordingly. Downspout we'll have to remove temporarily just to get that corner trim on, and then we'll reattach the downspout. Gutters we're not messing with. This area here, you know, we can reattach the hose reel, things like that. But again, kind of the same thing on this gable. If there's something clever the guys can come up with, just to give it some definition, some depth. That's big old 3/4 inch wood up there. You know, and take the batten strips off and maybe just do something different up there that's not going to affect the price. That would be a great thing. We'll just cover that with Joe. He's going to tear down basically this patio cover. He said he's going to try to do that. If it's not done, we can just R&D it. He's not interested about it going back, so just quick 10-15 minute job just getting this thing off if it's not gone by the time we're here. But he said he was going to try to address that for us. Let's see here. Oh, there's a gate. Coming around back, he's going to move all this stuff here. This little shed we're not doing anything with right here. You can see the main house here comes to this corner right there and then juts back down to the side of the house. So again, all this stuff, he knows that we have to get that out of the way so we can get back there and do what we need to do. Gable vent will be retrimmed up there. Again, the patio cover is going. This shed is staying, but we have clear area to work. We'll take a look at that here. So again, nothing going on with the shed here, and you can see in the corner just a huge, you know, wall of siding. Thankfully, it's only 8 foot. You know, one thing I didn't point out in the video. Shoot. Let me go back and catch that. There's a little rake wall. I just realized I missed it because I saw the other side. So this little rake wall will be addressed, and we'll side that, and there's gonna be some little flashing that we'll have to do up there. See that? So that'll all be concluded as well, and we'll do the flashing that's necessary up there. So now going on to the back. Be a pretty straightforward little project. I think Joe said he's been home about 14 years. He's worked for Boeing for some 36 years, so calls home out here. See the corner, so we can get back there to do what we need to do without having to move this shed or do anything too crazy. Again, all this facing, you can see some minor, you know, some just splashback from the water. Better than that, all this stuff above here is no signs of rot or any kind of evidence of anything crazy going on. Joe, if you're watching this video, I just noticed this kind of on this little run of fascia right up here. That drip edge and fascia is in pretty bad shape. It looks like there's been some flashing installed up there, but just when you do address the fascia and soffit, you might want to take a look at that and have that replaced. And just so you're aware, make sure that somebody doesn't paint over that, because it doesn't look like it's doing too well. So again, inside the breezeway, we're not doing anything. All this facing trim here, however, will be replaced with Hardie 1x4. And again, pretty straightforward. Dryer vent will stay. Any of these cables that are dead or not active anymore, we can get rid of those. The electrical box down there, we're gonna pull away, side behind it, and reattach. But there's very minimal. Again, there's some paint issues over here, but the wood is solid. So trim is in kind of rough shape, but that doesn't matter at all. That trim is going away, and we're going to replace that with Hardie 1x4. So again, I will find out from Joe what we're doing with the screens, and And that's really the only outstanding thing I think we see here. Otherwise, it's gonna be a great project, real straightforward. Like I said, it's gonna look beautiful when it's done. Color-wise, he wants to do something in the white family, you know, kind of along what he has now. So maybe we can give him a couple options of white, and he can pick one that he likes best. But that's pretty much what we got. So again, Joe, it was a pleasure talking with you today. We really look forward to working for you, and we certainly appreciate you know, you trusting us with your home. So thank you very much, and look forward to doing an excellent job for you. Thank you.